heart. An agreement that you can see on paper, but you can't see in spirit. An agreement that says we will create an event, but really much more an agreement that speaks to an ideal. We come to remind the world of the gifts of the athletes of Special Olympics. As Peter said, people who you'll see momentarily shooting footballs and playing bocce, and not just who you'll see, but who you will play with. We come to remind the world of the gifts of the human spirit that have no boundaries, none, no exceptions to the greatness of the human spirit. You will see athletes run marathons, and you will see athletes who lift beanbags. You will see athletes who jump over great hurdles, and you will see athletes who struggle to walk. You will see athletes of all ability levels who are great athletes, not because God gave them the capacity to run the fastest in the world, but because God gave them the capacity to be the greatest in the world, from the inside out. We come to remind you of the gifts of the athletes of Special Olympics, but we also come to learn from this great nation, from the heart and values that formed this nation, formed and rooted in the value and ideal of tolerance, formed and rooted in the ideal of welcome and peace, formed as an open nation, welcoming religions, welcoming nationalities, welcoming geographies, welcoming ethnicities, to remind the world and to come and learn from the United Arab Emirates a lesson that the world needs now more than ever, that there can be no boundaries to the power of inclusion. We speak in Special Olympics of the gifts of all athletes. Sometimes we're compared to the Paralympics, even confused. We respect and have great admiration for the Paralympic movement, for the Olympic movement of which we are a part. And we respectfully claim our own role in it. The Paralympics are able to inspire us with the extraordinary elite accomplishments of people with physical and developmental challenges. The best of the best. We come to remind the world that there are 250 million people with intellectual disabilities, and they're all Olympic. They all have the capacity. We are not a sports organization that celebrates the elite. We are the sports organization that celebrates the universal. And in this way, we bring a great compliment, I think, to the great sporting events that have been held here in the United Arab Emirates and in Abu Dhabi specifically. But we also come here to bring a new message about what sport can do and be in this 21st century. The world is a very difficult place today. We face great challenges, not just in this region, all over the world. There is great fear of difference. I sometimes say the greatest and most dangerous weapon in the world is attitudes of mass destruction, attitudes of intolerance, attitudes of indifference, attitudes of injustice. We come to celebrate what defeats those weapons: attitudes of inclusion, attitudes of tolerance, attitudes and behaviors of justice. We come to play unified. In the end, this is our message, that every sporting field can include people of all abilities, and people who have intellectual and developmental challenges, and also those who don't. For those of you in this country who wonder what your role might be, consider the role of athlete. You may join with our athletes in unified sports. And when you come to these games, you will participate, not just watch. The name of this great nation is the United Arab Emirates. I like the first word the best, if I can say that. Maybe even in some ways we will give it our own little spin. It will become, for at least 10 days, the Unified Arab Emirates. This will be our dream. So to the Crown Prince, to all the members of the Crown Prince Court, we extend to you our deepest gratitude for your generosity in welcoming us, for your extraordinary hard work in preparing for this announcement, and in your confidence in us, in our athletes. Many places, we don't get that, honestly. And for those of you who are mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters of children or adults who have intellectual challenges, you know that there are many places where the confidence isn't there. But here we have found confident partners, generous partners, willing partners. You will never know how grateful we are to be here today to celebrate this great launch. Thank you.